Welcome everyone from YouTube. My name is Loth, this is Godforge, and thanks a lot for stopping by. In today's video, I want to compare two very strong rare heroes, and I got the idea for this video, for this comparison, thanks to Godforge Beta. So first, very cool name by the way, and thank you very much for this idea to compare those two heroes. He had the idea to compare Chang'e and Isolde, or Chang'e and Isolde. I don't absolutely know how to pronounce her correctly. I just call her Isolde, and I hope you know who I'm talking about. So now I want to compare those two heroes, compare their kits, and then also give some very important mentions when it comes to Isolde. But first, let's talk about their kits once again real quick. But first, let's talk about their skill kits real quick. I already talked about Chang'e's skill kit. She's very good at healing. Hers is like one of her main purpose. With her A1, she has a very nice continuous way to heal your team. Every single time that she uses her basic attack, she will heal all allies by 5% of her own HP. So you can just build her with as much HP as possible, and then she will be very good to heal at healing your team. And also, if the hero, one of the heroes, or probably all heroes in your team, are under the Vanish buff, she will heal by just more. So very, very cool skill. Then she has also very interesting core skill as well, where she will place accuracy up and resistance up. It's only the small version, but it really helps already, and it is for 2 turns. Also, if you have Hu Ji, then he will also actually receive the big versions of those 2 buffs, but this is more niche. It's mainly about the small versions, but it is team-wide, and especially accuracy up is an extremely good buff in my opinion. Very, very helpful early on, but probably also later on, because a lot of those heroes can inflict debuffs. Also, like the main heroes that I've been talking about in the last couple of videos are all needing a little bit of accuracy, so I really like this core skill quite a lot as well. And then she has also an ultimate, which is very strong as well. She heals by quite a good amount, 15% all allies, and then places a block debuff on each ally for 2 turns. Block debuffs is insanely strong, especially if it is timed properly. If you place this buff right before the enemy team, the enemy waves, whatever, the enemy boss, inflict debuffs, this is extremely useful. And then also she has a built-in way to place some Vanish buffs on your team as well, which will just increase her healing from her A1 a bit further. And then finally, her passive. Whenever an ally is healed, she can also restore some percentage of the missing HP. This is very niche. Restoring HP has nothing to do with healing. It actually just restores HP, because there are some mechanics in the game where your hero HP pool just will reduce over time, and then this is extremely helpful. So if you need someone to restore HP, this is amazing, but apart from that, this is very niche and not so useful, honestly. So from the passive, if it is needed, it is amazing, but most of the time you don't need this, and then this passive is actually not that good, not that important. And now, let's talk about Isolde, about Isolde's skill kit. And there's one thing to mention as well, real quick. She has a speed aura in all battles, in all dungeon battles, while Isolde has a speed aura, speed leader bonus in all campaign battles. So both of those leader bonuses can be very useful. Personally, I like that in dungeon battle a little bit more, just because I think in general you will spend a bit more time, especially later on, once the game is fully released, you will probably spend a bit more time in dungeons than in campaigns. But don't underestimate the speed in campaign battles. It is definitely still one of the best auras or the best leader bonuses to bring, in my opinion, because speed is just so useful. It helps you so much. But now let's talk about her kit as well, really quick. She attacks one enemy while the scaling is decent, but it's absolutely not about damage. Not for her, and also not for Chang'e. Then she places Cement on the ally with the lowest HP for 2 turns. And this is very cool actually. And then once again we have this small niche ally partner bonus. If Tristan is an ally, he will also receive Cement, which is very cool if you have Tristan. But it's more niche. We just talk about the core of those skill kits. So it's just Cement on one ally, but for 2 turns. And Mend is a buff that I really like as well. It just heals your team by 10% at the start of, not the team, but the hero, I'm sorry, by 10% at the start of the turn. This is also very cool, but you really have to take a turn before this heal takes effect. So I like Chanji's A1 more, but there are definitely situations where the Mend buff is more useful. So yeah, keep this in mind. Now let's talk about her core skill, because this is also an extremely cool core skill. She places a defense up on all allies for 1 turn only, but then she also increases all allies' turn meter by 10%. It is a small version of defense up, but it is still a 30% increased defense, which is honestly already quite helpful. But it is only for 1 turn, and this is the big problem, the big issue with this hero. But keep in mind, and this is very important, very interesting, you can awaken this hero. And especially since she's a rare hero, it is not too hard to awaken her. And once you reach the awaken ability upgrade of 5, level 5, she will also place attack up on all allies. Once again, only for 1 turn, which is quite sad, but it is very, very good to bring defense up and attack up on all allies, even if it is only for 1 turn. Apart from that, the other awakenings are definitely helpful, but not as game-changing as the level 5 awakening. So once you have level 5 awakening on Isolde, it will definitely make her a bit stronger, quite a bit stronger. And yeah, this is a core skill. I really like this core skill, and especially the turn meter fill is something very cool to bring. Then finally, her ultimate. First, she removes 1 random debuff from all allies, and once again increase the turn meter by another 15%. Also by a further 5% if a debuff is removed. So ideally you increase your turn meter by 20%, which is very nice. And then we have this niche effect here, then if Tristane. Oh, here's actually a mistake. Here it is Tristan, here is Tristane. I think Tristane is actually not correct. I think he is called Tristan. However, if Tristan is on the enemy team, very interesting, quite funny honestly. It has a 75% chance to place a charm on them for 2 turns, which cannot be resisted, so no need to build this hero with any accuracy, and she still can inflict the charm on him. Charm is a very interesting and a very funny debuff to bring, but also a bit more niche honestly in my opinion. But maybe this can be interesting later on for some wave content, for some special wave content, for the tower content, which we will be able to experience on the 2nd beta, or maybe even for PvP. Depending on how strong or how frequently Tristan is going to be used in PvP. So we will see, only time will tell. But then we have the passive. And this is what makes Isolde so cool in my opinion. But also, and this is what I just mentioned in the beginning of the video, that there is something that you have to be aware of. So let's talk about the passive. It's super easy, straightforward. Whenever an allied defender is attacked, it heals 10% max HP on all allies. Now, this is amazing. It reads amazing and it sounds amazing, but there is one problem. It seems to be bugged. Not with every single defender, but with a lot of defenders. And when I first, like in the first 1 or 2 days of the beta, when I tried Isolde, I had only 2 defenders, or 2 defenders where I wanted to invest my resources in. One of those was this dragon Ryujin, and the second one was Bran. And it didn't seem to work with any of those 2 defenders. So this is why I just assumed that in general her passive is not working at all. Sorry, the cat just wanted to be part of the video as well. Back to topic. And this is why I didn't give her a try further, because I just had a feeling that she was bugged overall. But then I got recommended to use her, to try her out, and I saw that other content creators use her as well with very good results. So I checked it out again, and I realized that it is not bugged with every single defender, just with some of those defenders. And this is what I would recommend you to do when you want to use this hero, because it is absolutely worth it. Her passive is amazing, but also the fact that she can remove debuffs and also increase the turn meter is very, very cool. This is a very strong ultimate, and yeah, her core skill is also very, very strong. It places defense up on all allies and increases turn meter, and especially once you have Awakening level 5, I really like this core skill as well. But in general, I think I personally, if I would have to choose on which of those 2 heroes I want to invest right now, then I would probably go with Chanji. First, because I like her aura a bit more. She brings a little bit more healing to the table in my opinion. And then also accuracy up is a buff that I really liked to learn in the last couple of days. This is an extremely useful buff to bring for so many different teams. This is just my point of view or my current status on the game. I'm using, I forgot her name, Inari, quite a lot. Inari is a very strong hero. And what makes her so good, or one thing that makes her so good, is the fact that she brings ally attack. And ally attack in combination with Chun-Li is just a little bit better because I like her A1 more than I like Isolde's A1. So this is the reason why I'm a bit more biased towards Chun-Li, but it highly depends on your personal roster. If you have a lot of very strong defenders, you should give a try. You just run a small area, like a small stage of any dungeon, and have a look if it works. I would just showcase you some small clips in the background where I show you how I check this out, because it is not displayed at all. If she heals, it's not like when Chun-Li is using her A1, it just shows the healing on your whole team with numbers. Now for Isolde this does not work right now, it is not working properly, but she still heals, at least in combination with some particular defenders. And I would just try this real quick if I were you, and then you can just decide for yourself if it is worth it, if she works with your defenders or not. And that's it. Now let's talk about the gear just real quick, because when I've been comparing those two heroes, I've been using the exact same gear set, while I focused quite a lot on HP, just because Chun-Li's heal is scaling with HP. But in general, just go for a lot of tankiness and a lot of speed. You want those heroes to be very fast. Ideally, you want them to go first. For Chun-Li, you want her to go first because she brings accuracy up. For Isolde, you want her to go first because she increases your turn meter, and once she is at Awakening 5, she will also bring attack up. So it is very helpful if those healers go first. And also, especially for Isolde, your allies have to take a turn to get the healing from the mend. It is also quite useful if she goes before the allies that you want to heal. So this is why I would definitely recommend to go for a lot of speed. And then about the Shrine set bonus. The Shrine set bonus is super strong, it reads super strong, but it is also currently a little bit bugged. I think it does not work in any area, but I'm not entirely sure about this. The last 2 days, by the way, I've been on a vacation, or a super short vacation, like 2 days with my girlfriend, because she had birthday. So this is why I wasn't able to play the last 2 days. I only was able to log in real quick. But apart from that, I was not able to test anything. But I didn't have any success yet with the Shrine effect, with the Shrine set bonus, the 6-piece bonus. But once this works as intended, this is an extremely strong set to bring on so many different heroes. And especially on those 2 heal heroes, it is definitely helpful. Just increasing your outgoing healing by 30%, and then also heal your allies by 10% of their max HP at the start of every single turn, this is very strong. But as I mentioned, it is not working right now, so right now it's probably best just to go with very strong broken pieces, or one set that I always like to bring is the body set. Because here the 6-piece effect is working as intended. Let me check if I have someone here. Perfect. The 6-piece effect is working as intended, and it is super helpful. And in theory, this is also helpful on someone like Chun-Li, because she can heal with her A1, and if she just cycles through her turns more frequently, if she gets some additional turns, it helps. But of course, especially early on, we have not too much of those set bonuses, and then it is absolutely fine to go with broken pieces as well. And I think that's it actually. I really hope that I've mentioned everything important. If there is anything that I forgot, you want to add something, you have some feedback or whatever, please let me know in the comments below. But that's it for today. Thank you very much for stopping by, and have a good time, and see you in the next one.